So consumers will be hit hard by the latest fuel price hike. Are there other expenses we can cut back on to reduce the impact? Joining me now is Standard Bank Economist Siphamandla Mkhwanazi. Thanks for your time, sir. Appreciate it. Everybody's talking about the imminent rise in costs with regards to transport, groceries, etc. What can we do to cut down?
Thanks for the opportunity. Petrol prices are like a tax. One can't really get away from them. But what tends to happen is that in such instances when petrol prices petrol prices rise, consumers tend to cut back on the expenditure on entertainment, on recreation and stuff like that. But petrol prices alone, on their own, one cannot really avoid that kind of a cost.
So how do people actually try to save at a time like this? I mean, what options would they have? Where can they actually cut costs?
Look, at the moment, the thing is that the cyclical consumer, that consumer that gets affected by the cycles of the economy, on expenditure such as furniture, that goes with the cycles in the economy, has been really down in the past couple of years, owing to weak economic growth in the last couple of years. So I don't see much for the consumer to cut back at the moment, because that kind of a cost that is cyclical, that kind of a cost that consumers can do without, is quite low at the moment. We were looking forward to a turnaround in the economic growth so that that kind of a consumer also recovers. But that kind of a recovery is now being stalled by disappointing GDP numbers as well.
Now, do we ultimately see this affect interest rates in the country as well?
At the moment, our official view is that we don't see any cut or a hike at this stage. But what this does mean is that chances of a further cut have all but diminished, because all of this inflationary pressure is limiting the room for the South African Reserve Bank to maneuver. But you'd also remember that petrol prices derive from oil prices, which are also determined at an international level. So there's not much that the Reserve Bank can do. What the Reserve Bank does worry about is the second round effect of all of that, when transport costs start affecting items such as food, when petrol costs start affecting what they call core inflation, which excludes all these supply side shocks. So it becomes a problem. Only then that the Reserve Bank would start increasing interest rate. But at the moment, we don't foresee any interest rate hike. But it will put inflationary pressure, which limits any opportunity for further cuts.
Now, there seems to be something going wrong with South Africa's economy at the moment, especially since GDP fell by just over 2%. It's the lowest rate in 9 years. I mean, that's worrying. What are we doing wrong?
Look, we're still dealing with a lot of structural problems. Although that we take comfort in the fact that sentiment in the economy at the moment is quite high. It hasn't been here in a very long time, so that's positive. The thing is that the question then becomes how much of that translates into actual investment into the economy. Without investment, the capacity of the economy is not going to increase, and therefore we're not going to create enough job opportunities. So it's about how much of that sentiment actually translates into physical investment in the country. And our view is that our view has always been that it is going to take a bit of a time for that to translate into physical investment in the country. And that is why our GDP forecast for 2019 is higher than our GDP forecast for 2018, because these kind of things do come with a bit of a delay.
All right, thanks so much for your time and your insight. Appreciate it. That was economist Siphamandla Mkhwanazi.